I'm doing well. How about you?
I'm doing great, man, over here in Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay, awesome. Well, guys, welcome to episode 7 of Self-Made. And again, the purpose of this whole channel is to really just inspire everyone to live their best life. And we have a very, very special guest today. Just to let you guys know, if you guys don't know Alex, because Alex, this is an entirely new demographic for you. So Alex Morton graduated from Arizona State in 2012 with a degree in communications. And what's really cool and what shows that he's a hustler is that he obtained his real estate license part-time. He sold and leased condos while he was at ASU. And at 2011, he was introduced to the industry of network marketing and direct sales. By the age of 24, he was the youngest seven-figure earner in his company. 26, he's earned a total of $2.5 million in commissions, all while developing 21 six-figure earners in 30 countries around the world. And recently, Alex was featured in Rolling Stone magazine in 2014, the youngest speaker ever at Eric Worre's GoPro Recruiting Mastery, and the recent mention in Forbes magazine.
Yes, sir. That is me.
Do you want to say what's up to everyone real quick, Alex?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm super excited to be here on the Self-Made, podcast with Francis, and love what he's doing with this. And Francis hit me up and he said, "I want to impact people and I want you on my show." And I said, if we can impact people and change people's lives, I am game for it. So I am ready to rock, man.
And really, really appreciate that, Alex. And you being a millionaire at the age of 26, your time's valued at least $500 an hour. So, wow. so you being mentioned on Forbes, let's get to the end. How did you scope that out? How did you get pictured on Forbes?
I was with it was crazy, man. They always say when you have a burning desire and a definite purpose, the universe kind of bends and breaks wherever you need it to get to where you want to go. And, it's always been, not necessarily a dream, but it was always a goal to kind of get in a publication like that. And, when I heard about being just a little blur in Forbes, whether it was a full page or just a couple sentences, to me, it meant the world. To my mom, it meant the world. And it was actually the booking agency I signed with down in Florida. A guy knew a guy, knew a girl, knew a guy, knew a girl, and they needed a millennial thought leader to be featured in this article. And I talked about dreaming big and taking action. They liked it, and they threw it in Forbes. So that was a pretty cool feat for sure. That's
amazing, especially being 26, right?
26 years old, man. Barely graduated high school, so it's a perfect example of you don't have to be quote intellectually gifted or have the best scores or get the best SAT scores or go to the best colleges to become successful. It's really about a burning desire, following your heart, chasing your purpose, and just going until the job gets done and never giving up, man. That's what I truly believe.
Yeah. So when you talk about that you barely graduated high school, was that because you got bad grades or other kids made fun of you just because you weren't as smart as other people?
No, I was like, I was quote, popular in high school. I was a nice kid. When I say I didn't graduate, I almost didn't graduate high school. I struggled with certain classes. I was in the math class. Put it this way, my senior math class, it was the same math my sister was taking. I was 18 and she was 15. So when I say I barely graduated high school, I don't mean like I was like at a 1.5 GPA, trying to figure out how to scheme my way to graduate. I just say I struggled with the grades. I struggled in classes. I got B minuses to C pluses, but it was the information they were teaching. That's what didn't settle with me. I have a vivid memory of chemistry and Miss Blanchard, who was a great human being. And I raised my hand one day. She's teaching us the periodic table of elements, right, on the board. And I raised my hand politely and I say, "Excuse me, not to be rude, but I'm just wondering what job, professions, careers am I ever going to have to understand the periodic table of elements that you want me to go home tonight and memorize so I can puke up information on a test to pass your class?" And she didn't like that. very much. So my point is that I just struggled with some of the information they were teaching us. I always talk about, why don't they have goal setting 101, business 101, investing 101, success 101, actual life success principles that actually help people rather than just memorizing random information and puking it up on an exam.
Got it. So what did you want to do at that young age, since you decided that school and a majority of things that you learn at school don't really make sense or perpetuate to actual living and actual business?
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I wanted to be successful. I was always hungry for information. The girl I dated in high school when I was 16, her stepdad actually was multi-millionaire. And I remember any chance I got, I would just be asking him questions about life, about success, about what I wanted to do. So I just became, a sponge, man. I mean, if you put me around somebody successful, I was going to ask them questions. I was going to interview them. I was going to try to extract, information. And at, 16, 17 years old, Entourage, you remember that TV show Entourage on HBO? That show literally made me want to become successful. I saw, a group of best friends traveling in private jets, nice cars, beautiful women, blah, blah, blah. When you're a 16-year-old kid, that's about all you think about. So I knew I wanted to be rich. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but eventually I was going to figure it out, and I was going to make it happen, and I was going to create the lifestyle, of my dreams at a young age.
And I'm sure you had a lot of, you've learned a lot from your parents building a very, very successful insurance empire. Could you elaborate a little bit on the things that you learned from them?
Yeah, I mean, I owe a lot of, I guess my success to my parents, and I speak freely about that. Growing up, my mom and dad were, the parents that my other friends would seek advice from. If they had issues, they would go to my mom, they would go to my dad and talk to them because, their parents, might have had a bit more broken mindset. And my parents always encouraged, dreaming and, believing in yourself and anything is possible. So, it was kind of like at a young age, I feel like myself as well as my sister, got programmed for success. I remember having Tony Robbins books. I got Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki when I was in like 5th grade. By 10th grade, I was reading Donald Trump's book titled Think Big and Kick Ass in chemistry class. I mean, I remember reading these books and highlighting this information. So, I feel very blessed and grateful that I came from a place where, I saw work ethic. I saw my parents, bust their butt. Their story, I'm not going to get too far into that, but, they made it huge in Houston, Texas, in the housing market, in real estate, tons of money, rich Mercedes-Benzes, and then the market crashed and they had like a $30-some million bankruptcy. So they started literally at nothing. And, their story was, they built and they built and they built and they built, and they found insurance and they went all in on the insurance. And, I have memories of my dad leaving home, shirt and tie, 7 a.m. Sometimes he came home at 5 p.m. Sometimes he came home at 10 p.m. So I saw work ethic displayed at a very young age. And to me, it was just normal. To me, it was normal to work super hard for yourself, to be an entrepreneur, to sacrifice, stuff today so you can live like others won't tomorrow. And to me, success wasn't really an option. It was kind of like, it's going to happen. I just don't know how it's going to happen, but eventually it's going to happen. So I owe a lot of who I am today, to my mom and my dad.
That's awesome. And I mean, me the same way. I look at my mom as a role model, just like you did your parents. So
Awesome.
You go to Arizona State. Why did you first off, why did you choose Arizona State? And then second off, why did you pick communications as your major?
These are great questions, man. I've been on a lot of shows, and I've actually never dove into all this stuff, so this is great. So I'm 17 years old. SAT was a 1490, below average. I was told by the guidance counselor. I wasn't too concerned with that. She wanted me to take it again and study again, and I actually never did. I just said, you know what, this is my test. We'll see what happens. So I applied to Indiana University. I applied to the business school, super good business school, Kelley School of Business, and they waitlisted me. So Indiana waitlisted me. I applied to Oklahoma because my dad went there. I'm a huge Sooner fan. My whole family is. And OU rejected me, which is obviously now it's a good thing because I didn't want to really go to Oklahoma and I love Oklahoma Sooners, but like the whole living there for 4 years probably wouldn't have been the best thing for me. And I took a campus visit. I had a friend who was doing real estate out here named Elliot Barkin. I'm actually getting lunch with him tomorrow, which is crazy. And he was the starting wide receiver his senior year, and I was the backup center my sophomore year, and he was the older cousin of my high school girlfriend. So anyway, he's like, yo, come to Arizona State for a weekend. You got to check this college out. I went out there. I did a campus visit with my dad, and I saw girls on a laptop, studying. I was 17. I'm 26 now. It's like almost a decade later. I'm 17 years old. My mind was blown. Palm trees, pool parties, hot weather, and I'm like, I'm in. So that's why I went to Arizona State. It had nothing to do with anything else except for the fact it was hot out. It was a party school, and I was 17, and I wanted to, get life going.
Okay. I mean, that's definitely fair. So you get to Arizona State, you're majoring in communications. What made you start off selling real estate?
Great question. I was sitting in my dorm room one day at 18 years old. I was frustrated with class. I was entry level to the business school. So I was forced to take like bio 101, chemistry, just stuff. I was sitting in a friggin' 400 person lecture hall. And I literally remember the day I got up and walked out mid-lecture because he's talking about the different biomes. So he's like, okay, you're writing a term paper on the rainforest biome. And I'm sitting there, in my head, I'm like, my parents are spending a fortune for me to be in this university, and I want to learn business, I want to get rich, and this guy's telling me to go study rainforests. I'm like, I'm out. So I left that class, and then a couple of days later, I'm flipping through TV, and I saw $1 million listing. Right when it came out, LA, it was like the older characters, and it was like 3 young dudes making a bunch of money in real estate, nice cars, dressed sharp. I'm like, dang, I can do what they're doing. So I actually looked up real estate schools on Google. I had no vehicle. I took a yellow cab from my dorm room at ASU to the Real Estate Learning Center in Phoenix. I walk in at 18 years old, and the first thing the lady says, she goes, hey, you're too young to do this. You should turn around and go back to school, graduate, then come back and see me. And I said, hey, by the way, it says you're allowed to be 18 years old to do real estate. I saw this TV show. I want to do what they're doing. And she really like fought me on this idea. But then eventually she let me take the classes. I took the classes. It was just 90 hours in person. Really didn't enjoy it. Finally passed the test. Took me like 10 times. Got my license. Branded myself as Rental Kings with my friend at 18. I don't know what the heck I was doing. And I never talked about this before. I was actually doing something pretty much illegal. I was taking people's other listings, marketing on something called postlets.com, and I was telling the internet they were my listings. So I was getting the phone call. I would get the phone call, and then I would call the agent and say, hey, this is Alex Morton with Icon Luxury Realty. I have an interested buyer for your unit. And nobody ever caught me. And I was making $500 a sale on rentals. My highest check I made like probably $2,200 on a really nice condo in Scottsdale. I was 19, dude, living the dream, man. So yeah, that's how real estate happened. Crazy. Saw a TV show, got into it, and that was my entry into entrepreneurship, you could say.
I think that's absolutely hilarious on how you took like other people's listings too. So in 2011. You were introduced to network marketing. What would you say your perception was of the industry before you looked into it deeply and before you got started?
Yeah, I didn't know really it existed. I know my parents toyed with the company back in the 90s with like mouthwash and stuff. They were my senior year of high school. My dad got involved with this little travel company for like 60 days. I didn't understand network marketing. I didn't understand the power of network marketing. So my dad's good friend invited me to this event, to get on the phone with, the #1 income earner in my previous company. And I never got on the phone, and he finally gave me some free NBA tickets. I went to the NBA games. I still didn't understand what the heck was going on. And it took me a while to kind of see the bigger vision. At first glance, I thought it was a scam, like most people. Yesterday on the airplane, I'm talking to this guy next to me who works for Intel. making $60,000 a year, which is phenomenal and it's great and I love jobs. However, he asked me what I'm doing in Arizona, and I'm like, I'm building my network marketing business. And he's like, oh, one of those pyramid deals? And it's like, dude, Intel's a pyramid deal. The government's a pyramid deal. College is a pyramid deal. The Golden State Warriors is a pyramid deal. Everything's a freaking pyramid deal, right? So I was skeptical. I was ignorant, dumb. I tell people I was broke, busted, and disgusted. And eventually I saw the light and got started in 2011, and the rest was history.
So take me through the journey of you building your business. What did you do, and what did you achieve your first year, second year?
Yeah.
And through all that.
Well, I got to be careful on income claims because God knows who's watching this right now. However, I got started in 2011, pretty part-time. I was a junior at Arizona State. I was in the communications degree. I was actually enjoying some of those courses. I was taking public speaking. I actually took an entry-level acting class. So I was actually learning some pretty good skills that I was going to use moving forward with my career and my life. However, I didn't know what I was doing. The guy I was working with, I was partnered up with, he didn't know really what he was doing in respect to the younger demographic, because there was no younger demographic. There were like 4 or 5 young people in the previous company when I signed up. So we kind of just figured it out, man. I would cold market. I would warm market. I was failing miserably. I wasn't following the system. I wasn't following a method. Again, I thought I was Mr. Cool Man on campus because I was making some money in real estate. And I had a Lexus IS 250, so I thought I was, Mr. Hot Dude over here, and I failed. I failed and failed and failed, but I kept failing forward, and I kept failing forward, and I started to YouTube other network marketing leaders who were making astronomical incomes, and I started to study the way they spoke, the way they moved their body, their energy, their mindset, and then to move this quicker here, 2011. I made $13,000. That was my 1099. So I made 13 grand. I looked up the average incomes at McDonald's. I could have made more money at McDonald's than building my network marketing business in 2011. So a lot of people, get on Google and they get on YouTube and they see all these, these big articles and, the Forbes and the Rolling Stone and all these different things. And they think it was just this rocket ship to success, but it wasn't. It was actually failure after failure after failure after failure, failing my way towards success. So 2011, I made 13 grand. I got more serious in 2012, senior year of college. My parents said straight up, look, if you don't build this to a certain amount of money, I think it was about $4,000 a month. They're like, you're gonna have to get a job. And to me, like, getting a job was like, I'd rather throw myself through a window into a shark-infested fire pit of death, right? Like, I was so against the whole job thing. I'm not against the job thing anymore, but I was like, I got to build this business. So I just took all massive action, man. We were doing 3 meetings a day physically in our condo. If I wasn't doing a meeting, I was on the phone. I was on Google Hangout. I was doing Ubers. I was building the team at Ohio State. I flew to Ohio and built that team. I went nuts. The secret to what happened in 2012 and 2014 was straight all out massive action. In 2012, that was my first 6-figure year. So I actually walked. I graduated college at ASU. I walked Sun Devil Stadium, hungover. I was up all night the night before with my cap and gown. All of our friends and colleagues or classmates were worried about getting a job. They were like, I don't know what I'm going to do. All my friends from the Midwest were moving back home to Chicago, back home to Ohio. I never got an internship. Junior year, all my friends, including my top earning distributor in my career, got an internship. I was like, I'm not getting an internship. I refused to show up and have some guy tell me what to do. That was just my personal belief. I just didn't believe in it. So I graduated ASU. I was making roughly $4,000 a month, and that was enough for me to go full time. And then, it went up from there.
It was just a rocket ship. I left
ASU and I made the real decision. 2011, 13 grand. 2012, first 6-figure year, and then 13 and 14. I got to be careful what I say on here, but it was a lot. It was a lot.
Yeah. And I like what you say about like having the mentality that I'm never ever going to work a job, because I was having dinner the other day with a music producer, and he wrote songs for the Black Eyed Peas and Kanye West, and he signed with P. Diddy's company Bad Boy Records.
Yeah.
And he's basically saying the only streams of income that I look to create are residual forms of income. And he's making money from songs that he's produced 13, 14 years ago. And the mentality that he has is, I will literally never work a job. I'll work 90 hours for myself, but I will never work a job.
Yeah, man, I mean, yeah, I'd rather work 100 hours for myself than 50 hours for somebody else. And, I'm not down on jobs. Like, there's people on this podcast, there's people on my Facebook Live call that have jobs. I'm off for jobs. You should be grateful. You should be thankful you have a job. I meet people all over the world that are unemployed. There was a lady last night at our event who's on disability, can't work, doesn't know what the heck to do with her life. I mean, struggling big time. So if you have a job, be thankful, be grateful. However, if you ever want to achieve time and money freedom, newsflash, you have to own your own business. There's no retirement parties going on this weekend in Phoenix, okay? People are working until they freaking drop dead. So you either accept existing reality, existing circumstances, existing results, or you do something about it. You start your own business. And the industry that that I'm involved in, that we're involved with part-time, it's the industry, man. Where can you go for a couple $100 to get around people that know exactly what they're doing? Now, I'll teach you, coach you, train you, and mentor you, help you get to where you want to go. Grant Cardone, everybody watching this knows who he is. I was on his Power Players show like a year and a half ago. We were just talking about this. He has a network marketing moguls show now on his channel, and I videoed it on my phone. I'm going to post it tonight on Facebook. He says everybody should be in network marketing. He goes, everyone should be in network marketing, maybe not forever, but to learn the necessary mindset principles to get them to where they want to go, in their life, period.
So people don't have to be network marketing forever, but they'll get paid forever, right? Because of the residual income.
Yeah, I saw Celine Dion in concert 2 nights ago with my little sister. She on stage, she's literally singing the same songs for the last 35 years. Titanic came out when? When did Titanic came out, dude?
Like 30 years ago?
In the freaking 90s. And she closed with the Titanic song. Everyone's crying and stuff. She's getting paid on stuff she did 35 years ago. I mean, if you're not making residual income, in my opinion, you're in the wrong game.
I absolutely agree. So, Alex, through the journey that you've been through of building your business, what would you say that is the toughest thing that you've had to overcome?
Yeah, early on, now I'm good, but it's accepting the temporary loss of social esteem from ignorant people. And some of those ignorant people, Bob Proctor says the only problem we have is ignorance. He said if people weren't ignorant, there'd be no war, there'd be no starvation, everybody would be happy, everybody would be great. It's straight ignorance. And when you venture off to start your own business, a lot of people close to you. It could be mom, it could be dad, it could be girlfriend, boyfriend, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, best friends, coaches, professors. People don't like that. You will lose friends. And my hardest part was I didn't understand why I was getting so much negative crap sent my way from people that I care about and they care about me about starting my own business. Somebody posted on Instagram, it said, you should support your friends in their own business the way you support celebrities you don't even know. So my biggest thing was, it was tough at first, just getting so much hate and negativity, animosity from ignorant, not bad people, not stupid people, not bad human beings, but just ignorance. Ignorance is not a good thing to do. So my biggest, I guess, thing I had to overcome was just accepting the fact that you have to figure out what you want to do and you have to put everything into it and you're going to go do it. And if people don't like it, people don't like you anymore about it, you can't worry about them. Darren Hardy once said, he said, when it's all said and done and you pass away and you die, the average funeral has 10 people at the funeral, and the deciding factor, whether they go from the funeral service to the burial site, watching you go in the ground 6 feet under, the determining factor is the weather. So knowing that, should you care about other people's opinions? Hell no. And I don't anymore. And that's not a cocky statement. That's just the way it is. You go interview anybody successful as an entrepreneur, they will say, you know what? Some people like me, some people don't. I like me. If they don't like me, that's their problem, not mine.
Yeah. And so, I mean, through this business that you've built, you've earned a couple $1 million in commissions. And especially at 26, I mean, being young and looks like that you live at home in Las Vegas some of the time, so it's not like you have a ton of expenses. What are you doing with all of the money you've earned, and how are you reinvesting that to generate more residual income?
Well, when you're 22, 23, making that type of money, you're going to do some things that you might not should do, maybe not should do. So we had fun, man. We spent a lot of money. I'll be honest. I don't lie. I don't BS. That's one thing that, I always tell people, I spent a lot of money in nightclubs, being stupid, having fun. It was fun, creating experiences. I don't suggest spending $2,000 to $3,000 though on alcohol in a nightclub with friends for 2 hours. It's not very intelligent. We got some watches and stuff, and we had fun. I had a 6 Series BMW. That was fun. But, I've saved a good amount of money. Thank God my parents helped me save money, because if not, I would have spent probably every dime I ever had. But right now, where my money's at, it's in savings accounts. And honestly, a lot of the money goes back into the business. Literally hundreds of thousands of dollars back in, to my organization, to my business, to our team members, whether it's travel, hotels, events. It's expensive making money, man. People don't understand that, but you got to put, the more money you make, the more money you're putting back, into your business. So I'm doing that. I'm also looking at gold and silver as well. I haven't pulled the trigger on that yet, but I've heard that's a pretty safe investment. But man, I'll be honest, I'm so stinking busy all the time. I don't have time to really do much of that. I've just got my parents kind of helping me out on the money side.
Okay. So, once I get my real estate game up, maybe we can put together a couple multi-family deals.
Yeah, man. That's what we're going to do. Make money and go invest in the real estate. Most of the wealthiest people I know, they own real estate. They own condos. They own apartments. I have a dream one day to build a hotel with some friends. So we'll have fun, man. We're young. We're young. We're not over here at 60. We got our whole lives ahead of us. So we're going to be doing a lot of fun stuff together.
22 and 26 and hustling, right?
Got to hustle, baby. Young and getting it. Let's go.
So now that the interview's basically almost over, what would be one piece of advice you'd give to anyone just seeking to create success in their life? Because I think it's really, really powerful that the only school that you got into was Arizona State, and you just had a different mindset growing up. And there's a lot of kids who are in college that they might be middle of their class and they might not get that top job offer, and everyone around them might be telling them that their life is screwed. Yeah.
I just tell people, number one, where you are does not determine where you're going. Your existing reality does not determine really much of anything. Like we're talking right now, but I'm always thinking about in the future. I'm always manifesting things that I want to happen in my life. Right now, I think about it, I embrace it. So if you're watching this and you're stuck, you're watching this and you're broke, you're watching this and you're hungry, but you don't know what to do, you just got to get a piece of paper out and a pen and write out what makes you happy. Write out what makes you happy. Write out something that you could enjoy, getting up early, staying up late, sacrificing the Netflix, sacrificing American Idol, sacrificing some parties. What makes you happy? Because you figure out what makes you happy and then get so good at doing that one thing. A lot of entrepreneurs try to dibble-dabble all over the place, and their results are exactly dibble-dabble all over the place. You got to get laser tunnel focus on one thing. There's a book right now, it's a bestseller, and it's called, guess what? The One Thing. So find that one thing and go all in with it, man. Seek out advice, seek out guidance, seek out mentorship. There's somebody in your field that's already making the money you want to make. There's somebody in your field that's already having the success you want. Study them, emulate them, learn from them. Read. I read every day. I listen to audios every day. I watch videos every Sunday. I grow my mind every single day. And make sure you're putting in positive stuff. Number one, put positive things in your mind. Number two, don't think backwards, right? Your rear view mirror is this big. Your front windshield is this big. Thinking about the past doesn't do you any good. Think about the forward. Think about the future. Think about where you're trying to go, and have that burning desire. Because once you have a burning desire, you have a definite purpose, and you put in the work. A lot of people say, well, it's the secret. If I sit here and I close my eyes and wish for $1 million, it's going to land in my lap. Bullshit. It's not going to land in your lap. You have to know what you want. Yes, I believe in the secret and the law of attraction. However, WORK. If you don't put in the work, there's no results. You have to action and immersion will give you that result every single time.
It's so funny how you talked about the secret and you said that you just have to get up and take action. And I saw John Assaraf earlier back a couple years ago, and he said the secret to the secret is the law of Goya. And the law of Goya is get off your ass and take action. Get off your ass.
That's it. You got to work hard, man. You work hard, good things will happen. If you don't, you're going to be stuck for the rest of your life.
And that's powerful. I mean, Alex, thank you. Thank you so much for your time, taking the time out and just being so giving and taking the time out to do this interview. Thank you so much. I mean, it's crazy that everyone who's successful has that same mindset, whether they're a doctor, a lawyer, they have their own accounting practice, or a song producer, they model. And everyone has that same mindset. I mean, anyone from any profession and any business can apply what they've learned today from you into their own thing and see massive success.
100%. That's it, man. My mantra has always been dream big, believe big. You too can achieve big as long as you work real big. Anything is possible. No doubt about it.
And I feel like, as we've seen from this interview, Alex Morton is just a normal, average kid. Just worked your ass off and seen massive success.
Yes, sir. That's it.
Thanks for the interview, dude. I'll catch you later.
Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.